Natalie here, and today I'll be rating all the books I read in 2023. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bells so you get notified every time I post a new video. Today is my first episode of Vlogmas, or like I will be calling it this year and hopefully for the rest of my YouTube career, I guess you can say, is my winter series where I'll be vlogging almost every single day because I know I will be able to be committed onto vlogging every single day of the month because I already started late. But well, yeah, so we're gonna get started on rating all the books I read for 2023. By the way, y'all, there's a big surprise by the end of this series, so stay tuned to find out what 2024 has for us. The first book I read in 2023 was the Holy Bible, which is literally my favorite book. I mean, if you want to count it as like a book or your treasure, because it's literally my treasure. I literally appreciate this book so much, and I never actually started like diving deep into the Bible until this year, and it actually has strengthened my faith and I developed a truthful relationship with Christ. While I couldn't finish the whole Bible in a year because I was trying to do that, like a whole Bible in a year, 2024 coming stronger. I am telling y'all, 2024 is the year I'll be reading the whole Bible in order, but I'll also be studying it. Don't think I'll just read the Bible in order. Anyways, so because this is my favorite book, I'll rate it an infinity out of 10 because it's literally my favorite book. I have so many of these. So my next book is another one of my good books. I actually love books. I'm probably going to say that about almost every book. It's been so used that the things are running. I hate when this happens. I literally try so hard not to let that happen. But I guess it happened with Jerusalem's Queen, which is my other book by Angela Hunt. The book is a historical novel centered around Salome Alexandra, a queen in ancient Judea. It explores her life, intertwining biblical themes and Christian concepts and the elements of Christian fantasy, I guess. And I was looking for a Christian fantasy or a book, something like this, and I thrifted this. That's God's work right there. So this is my first book I guess I got this year. Favorite book. I thrift most of my books actually because they're cheaper and they usually come new. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If y'all look good and you have a good thrift store, you're gonna find good books. So this is my favorite book. Not my favorite book. These are one of my good books. I love them. I love this one. And by the way, if I'm looking over here, it's because this is where the description of the book I wrote about was in the rating because I do not memorize. So yeah, the narrative is rich in historical detail, offering a captivating blend of fiction and history. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I literally enjoyed it so much. It was literally my favorite book about like fantasy book, because I really am not a big fan of fantasy books, but when it comes to biblical fantasy, I'm obsessed, and I learned so much. So for people who want to know more, I guess, for my teenage girls or boys can read this too. I love this book. I recommend it to y'all. It intrigued me the second I started reading it, so I rated a 9 out of 10. So yeah, Jerusalem's Queen. Well, do not mind my hair. We're going through a lot. Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. The series, by the way, but I only have this book, and I audio read the rest. I really want to buy the rest of the series because a fantastic book. I was intrigued immediately. I loved it so much. It was, I'm moving a lot, by the way. I loved it so much. It was a good book. I wish I could have the rest of the books because there's a better feeling of reading it with pages instead of hearing it and stuff. But I really enjoyed it. It was amazing. So, the story revolves around Belly, who spends her summer at the beach house with her mother's best friend and his two sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. The series follows Belly's journey of growing and turning prettier, I guess, puberty. I have a theory. And before I give y'all my theory, for the people who have not read the books and do not want to hear who Belly ends up with, please skip this part because I'll be spoiling it in a couple seconds. So here's my theory. Belly, so I wrote it down because I forget. So I think Belly is trying to learn who she is. Now she's prettier and stuff. This now in the summer. So she does it through relationships. Like, you know, like she does it through relationships, and she goes like, who am I gonna be? So her childhood is Conrad, you know, and then she goes to toxic people, nice people, you know, like all this type. And I'm not calling Jeremiah toxic. Kinda. I'm a Conrad person. Okay, but anyways, she ends up with Conrad stating that her childhood, that she is back, she's not going to change who she is for no one, and she's going to be her quirky self, and like she is a better person, but still someone who she knows she is and not changing for no one. So that's my theory. I don't know if y'all understood well. I don't know if anybody has thought of that, but yeah, that's my theory. So yeah, this is a book that captures complexities of love, friendship, and growing up. Oh my gosh, Susanna's death hit me hard. I'm telling y'all, Susanna's death hurt me. But I rated it a 10 out of 10. I love this book so much. And yeah, The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. The book follows Lara Jean Covey, whose secret love story letters are accidentally sent to her past crushes. I guess the story explores the consequences and revelations that follow, including fake relationships and genuine emotions. And I love this book. I loved it so much. I literally put my favorite part of the book in a sticky note because it was so good. I think I am a big fan of Jenny Han because she writes such good books and such good films, I guess. But I think the problem is that I've watched the films before I read the books. That half of the time I was comparing all of it to the book and the story. So I was like, I actually enjoyed doing that. And because of that, I guess I enjoyed just like comparing it. And I feel like the book is better than the films. But, you know, To All the Boys I Loved Before film was one of my favorite films. But I haven't read like the rest of the books, you know, P.S. I Still Love You and Always and Forever, Lara Jean. I'm reading it from the back because I forgot the name of it. But yeah, I love Lara Jean and Pete Kavinsky's, anyways, relationships. So yeah, I feel like if Jenny Han can write a book about XO Kitty, maybe I'll buy her the whole series because I love it. Kitty, her personality in the book is intriguing. But we need our own films for the older sister. I forgot her name. I have memory loss, people. It Ends With Us by Collen Hover. Oh wait, no, It Starts With Us by Collen Hover. I have not read It Ends With Us, and I'm not thinking I'll read it anytime soon. But It Starts With Us by Collen Hover. The novel addresses sensitive topic like domestic abuse. It follows the protagonist Lily Bloom and her complicated relationship with Ryle, I cannot pronounce his last name, Kincaid. The story is emotionally charged and thought-provoking, providing a I be typing and then I forget what I'm typing. Anyways, nuanced exploration of difficult choices despite the hype. I personally didn't like it. I don't know, I can't tell y'all. I don't know if it's just this book or like the whole author. I've heard so much more good stuff than bad stuff for sure. But in the bad stuff, people say that all her books are kind of like not that I don't like the author at all. I don't even know her. I don't know, I thought it was a boy or a girl. I was thinking of Nicholas Sparks for a second. But her books were I didn't find myself intrigued in the book. Just like Nicholas Sparks' The Choice book. But it wasn't my favorite book, and I'm sorry for the people who love this book. I'll probably go back and read it once I forget everything about the book, because it wasn't my favorite book. And so for that, I personally rated a 6 out of 10. Y'all, did I rate this book? I forgot to read it, didn't I? No, I did read it. Yeah, I rated it. I feel like I forgot to read books. But yeah, I rate this book a 6 out of 10 for just not entertaining much. It's probably me personally, because I don't know, I just didn't like it. I love novels. I couldn't like this one. It all happened to all of us. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite book, and yeah. When God Winks at You by, I cannot pronounce this author's name, Squire Rushnell. Oh my gosh, I love this book so much. So the book explores the concept of a God wink, which is like, you know, I'm thinking about you wink type thing, you know, or a meaningful coincidence, you know, that aligns with one's life. It provides uplifting stories and encourages readers to recognize divine guidance in their life. I found it really spiritually enriching, I guess. Let's use those words because we're talking about books here. Let's use big words. So yeah, I found it enriching and I really enjoyed it. It was really intriguing to find out about God Winks, which, okay, so if y'all did not get what I was trying to explain about the book, it's about, for example, everything you do in life, and it's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, how did that happen? We call it a God wink. Or something big happens to you. It's not a coincidence. It's a God wink. And a God wink is like, the author describes it in the beginning of the book as like you're sitting at the dinner table and your grandma winks at you, and it's like, oh, my grandma's thinking about me because she winked at me. She was looking at me while everybody else is talking in the conversation over there. And I guess that's kind of like the God wink here. My favorite story, because it gives you like a bunch of stories about people and like describes it as like, hey, that's a God wink, and I'm gonna show you even more about it so you actually believe it's a God wink. And my favorite story in this book is the first story they tell, because it literally catched me off guard. Like, it was so good. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it while I read the book. And it's okay, I'll tell you the story quickly. So this lady, She passes by this church for like about 25 years, I think, and every time she passes by the church, she goes, one day I'll go there. And the one day comes, and she dresses with this beautiful dress. She dresses up everything, and she goes to the church. She's early to the church because she's so excited to go, and she sits down, and the church ends and everything. She loved it, and she was like, she talks to a young lady who's sitting right next to her and goes like, the service was really nice today, don't you think? And she was like, yeah. And it was like, where do you come from? And they start talking, and the girl goes like, yeah, I'm actually here because I'm in a mission to find my birth mother because I'm adopted. And she goes, oh, and then so the old lady, I'm calling her old, oh my gosh, I go bad. So the lady goes like, oh, I know how that feels. I had to give my daughter to adoption. And then she goes, wait, do you remember her birthday? And she goes like, October, I forgot, October something. And she goes, wait, that's my birthday. And then when they confirm everything, it's her daughter. And it's not a coincidence. It was like, she could have chosen any other day in all those 25 years of passing by the church. And she chose that specific day. And so did the daughter. And it was such a beautiful coincidence. Or a God wink. So yeah, I really love this book. Beautiful, loved it, amazing, 10 out of 10. So yeah, I rated it a 10 out of 10. It was like my favorite book. It kept me intrigued. So yeah, I'm currently reading Vanished into Thin Air by Lindsay. So the book is a work of a Christian fiction that delves into themes of prophecy and the ends of time. As the story unfolds, it explores experiences of believers during these challenging times. And as I said, I'm currently reading this book, and I'm still reading it. It actually has me intrigued. It's really interesting. It has so many biblical verses in here. So does that one, by the way. So does the God Week one have. I love the cover of this one too. It's so cute. I thought it was not gonna be a Christian book, but I pull it out and it says the hope of every believer, and I was like, oh, it's a Christian book. And I'm actually really intrigued, and I'm liking how it's going with the book. So for now, I'll rate it a 7 out of 10. Lastly, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. For my family, this book is a mystery thriller, so do not think it actually teaches that you had a murder, because it's not. It's a mystery thriller. So the book is a mystery thriller that follows the story of a high school student, Peep, who investigates a murder that occurred in her town 5 years ago. It is not about learning how to murder, but it centers on uncovering the truth behind the crime in the town. So yeah, that's what the book is about. It's not about murdering anybody, it's just a title, I guess. And I like it, and I want to read the rest of the series because it's a book series. But before I do, I have to finish A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, because I was reading it and I was so intrigued in the book. I took her to Virginia in my trip, and I left it in my cousin's house, and I was literally in a cliffhanger. I left myself in a cliffhanger, and now I have to wait to go back, or she comes over so she can bring the book, or I can go get the book. But she's keeping it safe for me, and just because it was getting so juicy that I had to take it to Virginia, I'll rate it a 10 out of 10. And well, that was all the books I've read. So I'm not a book vlogger or anything, but I just wanted to give you my opinion on these books, and show y'all what I read in 2023. And I loved reading all these books. If y'all want more vlogs, more videos of this, or more videos of me reading or something, comment down below, and I'll for sure give it to y'all. But yeah, those are all the books. It wasn't much, but I did start in July, so I think this is a big goal of reading as many books as I could. They're actually all the books I have right now. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bells so you get notified every time I post a new video. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.